Hi, Devin. Welcome back to Ho Chi Minh.
Thank you for having me.
May I ask you to introduce yourself
Sure.
for everyone to know?
Sure. My name is Devin Williams, and I'm the president of EB-5 Global. We've specialized in EB-5 for the last 7 years. Over the last 7 years, we have done 7 projects. Our 6 previous projects have had over 1,500 approvals for I-526 and I-829. We have a 100% track record with USCIS, and I'm excited to talk to you today about our new project.
That's very good. That's a very nice success, for sure. We're very happy to be one of your partners here for Vietnam and Asia in general. Mm-hmm. Tell me, Devin, before we talk about your project by itself, how can someone know how to choose what is a good EB-5 project or a bad one?
Well, I think that's a great question. People ask us oftentimes, what's the best way to evaluate an EB-5 project? And I think there's a couple of things that you need to look at. Obviously, first and foremost, getting your green card is the most important component of the project. So you need to understand the jobs, and you need to understand that there's enough jobs and the quality of jobs in the project, whether they're from construction or operations, changes the level of risk with the job creation.
Very good.
So there's that piece of it. But the next piece that I think is really important is obviously all of the investors want to get their money back, and they want to know that their investment is safe even in an economic downturn. And for that, you really need to look at things like the overall structure of the deal. So how much total debt is there in a project? Oftentimes you hear people talking about how much EB-5 debt there is on a project, and maybe they'll say, well, there's only 30% EB-5 on this project. Okay. But it turns out that maybe there's a 50% first mortgage ahead of the EB-5, in which case the total debt on the project is closer to 80%, which
let me
makes it a little...
But if I understand well,
the
EB-5 investment by itself is a risk investment.
Yes.
Right? So therefore, for our client, what is important is to make sure that they get their money back after 5 years.
Yes.
So what you're saying is the first thing they should look is job creation, because that's one of the conditions. But the second is to make sure they can get their money back.
Yes.
Therefore, that they are on the top there as a, not guarantee, but the first rank.
Yes.
Correct?
The way that you know that is when you evaluate a project, you see what is your collateral position. So for instance, if the EB-5 investment is a loan, does the loan have a first mortgage, or does it have a second mortgage, or is it unsecured, a mezzanine loan?
Okay.
So the best position to be in is... But
we all want to be first, of course.
Everybody wants to be first.
But for EB-5, it's quite hard.
It's quite rare.
Yeah.
Usually it comes, you're in second position or even third position or unsecured.
Okay.
And so being in first position is important, because that means that when the project is sold or refinanced, you're the first person to get your money back.
To get the money back.
And that's obviously critical.
So let me guess, Lighthouse,
you have a first.
Your latest baby. So for our clients in Vietnam, and for example in Philippines or Hong Kong, where they will be? They will be first, I'm guessing.
They will be first.
That's very good.
Yes, it's quite rare, and one of the reasons for that is that we have so much government support in the project.
Okay.
So the project is about $60 million, and we have $22 million in funding from New York City and New York State, and we have an additional $9 million of funding from the federal government through the new market tax credits. So 50% of the project is being funded by the government.
By the government, and therefore that's why you don't need a bank loan.
We don't need, exactly. So we have
currently... you don't need to give a first guarantee to any bank.
Well, the first guarantee instead is going to go to the EB-5 investors.
The EB-5 investors, very good. And so the project started already?
Yes, we already started construction actually in December of 2015. Okay. And we open in 2018.
Oh, well, that was going to be my next question. Completion date?
Is in 2018, June 2018.
June 2018. So good. My birthday is on June, so maybe I can celebrate my birthday.
All right, we can celebrate there.
The Lighthouse project. We have heard a lot in the last 2 years. The EB-5 program has been going from deadline to deadline to deadline. And now with Mr. Trump, and we heard also there's some hearing at the Congress last week about the EB-5. What can we expect for April?
Well, it's always difficult to predict the
Yes.
federal government because we're often surprised by their decisions. But I think that what is for certain is that the price is going to go up.
Okay.
We don't know if it's going to be, in May, or we don't know if it's going to be in September. There's definitely a push right now to not continue extending. There's a group in the government that doesn't want to keep extending without making the changes.
Okay.
I think there's also going to be changes to the TEA, the qualification for a TEA.
Okay.
Right now, most states allow you to compile 12 census tracts in an urban area to create a TEA. There's a big push to make that into a single census tract TEA.
Okay. We heard in the news price from 800,000 to 1.3 million. That's quite an increase. What's the justification behind that?
Well, I think that the justification is that people in government feel that the program has been underpriced.
Okay.
It's been the same price for the last 20 years.
Inflation.
With inflation, and also other markets are, for the UK program or even for the Canadian program, are now more expensive than the US program.
Cyprus, for example, at €2 million.
Right.
Okay.
And we believe that the United States is a great country
It
to
is,
move
I'm sure
to,
it is.
and it is worth it. But we're hoping that the price change only goes up to, say, 800,000. But there's a strong push right now in Congress to go to 1.35.
I think everybody agree that, I minimally agree that right now U.S. is a very entertaining country.
That's true.
With your new president is keeping us very, very well informed on a lot of things.
I don't know about well informed.
Talking
but
about your new
entertained.
president, we heard that Mr. Trump's company was a beneficiary of EB-5 program. Was that correct?
It is almost correct. Like
Almost
his son-in-law's
His son-in-law.
company.
It's within the family.
Yes,
we
it's
agree.
within the family, and they benefited from EB-5.
Very good. I understood from you, as a last question, I understood for you how much time we have left.
Because it's there's so much kind of anxiety about the price increase that people are really trying to make their decisions quickly.
Okay.
Because once the price goes up, there will be no grandfathering. Even if a project was already selling units before that time, once the price goes up, anybody that comes in after that date is going to be subject to the increase. It doesn't matter if the project had already been in the market.
Okay, so if you do apply, let's say after May 1st, but again, we don't know.
We don't know, but it's the risk.
Very good. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for coming from all the way from New York City to here to Ho Chi Minh. We hope to get you back soon again.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.